Hey guys, I always try to upload a new video at least once a week, but recently I was really challenged with bad weather in this area. It was either really hot or it was raining heavily. I even lost electricity for 2 days. On top of that, my son's car skidded on a heavy rainy day on a highway, and that caused the $7,000 damage under the car. So I had to go back and forth with insurance on all the repairs. So that took some effort. And I also took a vacation back to my hometown back in Chicago suburbs. But now I'm back to my regular rhythm, and I expect to resume regular video uploads. I bought this Murano 2 years ago, and I had to do a number of repairs before I started a YouTube channel. I will cover all repairs, cost of ownership, and my 2-year experience in the future 2-year review video. So for this video, I will just go over my attempt to fix the cracked dashboard. I've already fixed many interior blemishes in the previous videos, and I'm quite happy with the outcome on those. But let me warn you up front that dashboard repair was much harder than the previous repairs I've done. I'm not 100% happy with the outcome. Let's just say that it looks better than before, but if you look closely, it's still an eyesore to deal with. I think the proper fix would have been to remove the entire dashboard so you have the room and flexibility to make the proper repair. Since the dashboard is so fragile, I was worried that I would actually break it or it could make things worse. However, it's something that's bugging me, so one of these days I may still attempt to remove the dashboard to make a proper repair. We'll see. So to repair the Murano dashboard that's cracking, I bought this leather and vinyl repair kit from Amazon. I think I paid around 20 or maybe a little bit less than 20 bucks. And it comes with a bunch of liquid, different colors. And it also included this small brush and a container to mix. And it came with this small spatula or the spreader, and came with some backing fabric. This fabric is used to repair areas that are larger than quarter inch. So it comes with the instruction. It's not very lengthy, but you don't need a whole lot of instruction, but it basically tells you how to apply, how long it takes to dry. It says it generally takes 6 to 12 hours, but I find it feels a little bit sticky even after that. Maybe it depends on the temperature and the humidity outside, but I think you need to leave it, let it dry for, maybe a day, maybe even a couple days. So, and this, you can't really sand this because it's kind of a soft material even after it dries. And, the reason is because it's repairing, if you're repairing the leather seat, this is kind of a flexible material, right? So it'll contour with the different shapes in the seat. It also gives you a color chart so you can figure out how much to mix to get to the color that you want. For me, this doesn't matter because I'm gonna actually paint over this. Now, I did get additional large spreader. So far my holes and cracks are very small, so this tiny spatula was actually sufficient. So I wanted to test this before I try this on the dashboard and mess things up. So I had, back ago, I had an office chair that was all breaking up, so I cut out the leather. I built a little stool. So, I do a lot of work outside in the garage, and often I'm sitting on the concrete that's cold and hurts my butt. So I built this padded stool. So what I did was I just applied some of that liquid or that material on here, just to get a feel for how I work with the liquid, and just to get a feel for how long it takes to dry, and can I sand it, just trying to play with it and trying to understand. So
I did this sample about 3-4 days ago, and I mean it's on there pretty tight. I mean you know it's hard to even scratch it off with your fingernail. So I'm really impressed, at least for the how adhesiveness part of it. So, but as you can see, if you don't control the thickness properly, you're gonna end up with this thing that doesn't look flat, right? Even here. So if you apply it correctly, you can preserve the texture below. Okay. But now right here, I actually try to take a 2000 sandpaper and try to see if I can actually sand it. It kind of worked and it kind of didn't. And as you can see, after a while, it's just peeled off the this material that was on there. So I don't think sanding is the right way for this. So they said use the rubbing alcohol if you need to work on some of the imperfections. And if you notice, this is finished to the pretty shiny finish. And if you want a matte finish, then you're supposed to take the 90% alcohol and kind of rub on it. But they tell you to do it in an area, test in another area that's not very visible first, okay, before you do that. So let's go look at how it's doing so far in the car. Okay. So I've applied this maybe 2 days ago, and here was a scratch, and as you can see, that area I think I do need to smooth it out a little better, because it's just gonna show right through. Okay, so I'm gonna try to actually sand this down a little bit, and here as well. But some of the other areas, like where there was a let me see if I can get focused there. Okay, see, there was a scratch going this way and vertically. That one actually filled up pretty nicely. Okay, and there was a little dimple here that worked out pretty good. And a lot of there was a long break here that filled up pretty good too, but I can feel a little bit of unevenness right here, so I may apply a little bit more. So what I'm noticing is after you let it dry, it seems to shrink slightly. So I had it flat, but it looks like some of the areas that had deeper holes, it went in a little bit. So I may have to do a second coat over it, and here and onto the side. I mean, I don't know what the heck. Nissan, and actually there were a bunch of car makers with all kinds of dashboard cracking issues for a long time, but the dashboards on the cars were okay. And then there was a period of about 10 years where a lot of the dashboards were melting, cracking, and this is definitely one of them. Now here, there's a lot of small cracks here. I expect this area to get less sun and heat damage versus the top. So I think here is actually the problem of probably the previous owner, putting their feet here, and applying pressure. So anyway, it's all cracked up. That filler actually filled up pretty good, pretty nicely. I would say 90% of the area it filled up pretty nicely. However, I can still feel some imperfection a little bit. But the paint that I'm gonna use, and you guys see me do this on the steering wheel and the gear shift knob, the paint goes on really well, and it tends to cover any minor blemishes. And definitely the more difficult part is the bottom here, the edge. The bottom edge is kind of broken off, so I still have more work to do. Now the biggest damage I have is right here. Okay, so they have that backing fabric, so I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to best use that here and fill this in. I have other damages here too. I mean, it's all over. Once the crack starts, it seems to run continuously. So, but let's take a look at this real closely here. It actually filled in pretty nicely. I mean, there was a long crack line, but I can feel it went in pretty flat, evenly. So I think if I paint, I think it might actually come out pretty good. So the other thing is, I was trying to figure out, I mean, I don't mind the effort of taking out the whole dashboard here, but I can't find clear instructions. And you know, I don't mind the labor of taking out the dashboard, but what I'm afraid is in the process of doing it, you know, that I would actually completely break, you know, this centerpiece there and cause bigger damage. So I have most of the small areas filled. I'm gonna try to work on this area here. Okay, so I've cleaned it with alcohol several times. I'm still getting dirty particles coming out, so just gonna continue until it's clean. I don't know if this stain will ever stop from coming out. Oh, there. It's actually the paint from the plastic material that's coming out. It's supposed to be the 5th or 6th time I'm cleaning and it's still coming out. Actually, it almost seems like it's getting darker each time I do this. Because when I clean with the alcohol, I'm still seeing a lot of dark stain that's coming out. I'm guessing I may actually be taking off paint from the vinyl. So I mean, we cleaned it quite a bit. I don't think there's any grease that's left over. So I'm gonna try to do a test paint just in this area and see how that holds up before I clean the before I continue the cleaning. Just gonna put a light coat Actually, I already put one coat, so this is kind of the second coat. So let's see. I had the battery disconnected. So I got the hood open. So the steering wheel is holding up really nicely. I mean, there's no crack or peeling. This is holding up really nice. Same for the gear shift knob, as well as the dash trim piece here and here. Those are holding up nicely, as well as the windows, the silver paint that I did. All of those are holding up nice. So now let's take a look at the dash. You can still see some crack that wasn't there, but after a while, when it dried, it showed. I may have to go back and touch that up and repaint. But remember how this area was super ugly? So it covered up quite a bit of a small blemish, but you know, you can see there's some dimples here and there, and there's still a line of crack that you can see, but this is still a lot better than what it was. I mean, before it had cracks everywhere. So let's continue on here. This was actually it wasn't the problem of masking tape, but me rushing to take off the tape before the paint was dry. So I got some touch up and cleaning up to do there. If you notice here, I had a big gap here. It's still ugly. Before it was super ugly, so now it's just ugly. Here, this one, this side. Okay, let me scoot over a little bit. This side turned out okay. I mean, it's consistent with the other areas. You see a lot of the blemish that was here. Those are all gone, or most of it is gone. But if you catch it in right angle, you can still see some defects. Now here, again, that crack wasn't there after I finished painting. But after it dried, I think after it fully dried, it started to show. Now this bottom was so ugly, and it's so cracked unevenly. It's extremely difficult to get that really smooth out. So, I mean, this is as best as I can do. Am I happy with the result? Well, let's just say it's better than before. It's quite a bit better than before. It's not super ugly, but I'm not proud of the work. I really think the dash, this whole dashboard has to be removed for this to be repaired correctly. So we'll see. Another option is you can get a carpet that goes over this, and I've been trying to find one that's the proper size, and they have it for 2010 Murano, but when I look at the picture, this whole dash console area is not the same picture, so I'm afraid it may not be the matching one. And a lot of them says there's like a 30 to 40% restocking fee, so you know, I'm not happy about that. So anyway, you know, to be honest with you, I really pondered whether I want to really post this video. I had a lot of this work done before, because it didn't come out to the level of my satisfaction. I thought about not posting it, but I think it still has value if you guys want to attempt it. Some of you guys may have better handy skill than I. Like I said, some of the small cracks, that compound will seal pretty easily and pretty nicely. The problem is when you have a deep gash, like in this area, because that compound is so kind of a fluid, you know, it's very flexible. It's hard to shape them. You know, would have been nice if they had something that you can apply and send it down, but this is not something you can send down. You know, because this is something that you apply to the leather seat, and it's supposed to be flexible, you know, with the seat movement. And then the areas down here, when you have uneven surfaces, those are hard also, because it's hard to get it even. So that Magic Fly is best for you know, probably the leather and vinyl seat repairs, or filling small hairline cracks, okay, but not good for you know, shaping or flattening out the uneven spaces. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and hope this meant something for you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.